the time we leave at 7. I'll be waiting up for heaven, counting every mile of railroad track that takes me back. Never thought my heart could be so yearning. Why did I decide to roam? Gotta take a sentimental journey home.
So I got on the computer for a while this morning, and I went to Amazon.com, and I ordered a chicken and an egg. I'll let you know.
There was this young little boy, and his name was Bobby. Well, Bobby lived up on this hill on top of the mountain. And every morning, his mother would get him ready for school, feed him oatmeal, whatever. But the problem was, all Bobby was a head. He didn't have any body. So every morning, she'd dress him up, put him on a roller skate, and roll him down the hill. At the end of school, the kids would drag him back home. Well, every night, little Bobby would lay in bed, and he prayed and he wished upon wish that he could be anything except a head. So he wakes up the next morning, his mom pulls back the blanket, and there he is, nothing but a grape. She puts him on the roller skate, bundles him up, puts him on the roller skate, rolls him down the hill. On the way down the hill, he falls off. One of the other little kids step on him and squash him. The moral of the story is, quit while you're ahead.
Well, I got to tell you, my mind, it works like lightning. A big flash and it's over.
I was talking to Denny Ramsey, and he was saying that his wife Mary has a lot of mood swings. He said, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. And I said, well, it sounds like the M. He says, menopause? And I said, no, she's mean. I said, well, here's what you do. You get her a mood ring, and that'll help kind of gauge the response that you'll give to her. So he got her a mood ring. A couple of weeks later, I talked to her, and I talked to him, and how's it going? Denny says, well, when she's in a good mood, the ring turns green. Well, that's good. What happens when she's in a bad mood? Well, the ring makes a great big frickin' red welt on my forehead.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, to give you a tour of Pleasant Lake, pointing out all the high spots, I want to introduce to you the mayor of Pleasant Lake. He's also the mayor of a small suburb just to the north of Pleasant Lake. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Well, welcome to Pleasant Lake, Indiana. One of the reasons people love 101 lakes in Steuben County. I got to tell you, being the mayor of Pleasant Lake isn't everything it's cracked up to be. In fact, it's the lowest paid mayor's job in the state of Indiana. $20 a week. And I'm so poor, I'm not sure how much longer I can keep paying them $20 a week. Dear God, I realize you made many, many poor people. And I realize that there's no shame in being poor. But it's no great honor either. So what would have been so terrible if I had a small fortune? If I were a rich man, hi-ya-dee-ya-hi-ya-dee-ya-hi-ya-dee-ya-dee-ya-dum. All day long I'd biddy bum. If I were a wealthy man, I wouldn't have to work hard. Hi-ya-dee-ya-hi-ya-dee-ya-hi-ya-dee-ya-dee-ya-dum. If I were a bitty rich, yitle-deetle-ditle man, I'd build a big tall house with rooms by the dozen right in the middle of the town. a fine tin roof with real wooden floors below. There would be one long staircase just going up, and one even longer coming down, and one more leading nowhere just for show. I'd fill my yard with chicks and turkeys and geese and ducks for the town to see and hear, squawking just as noisily as they can. And each loud breek, break, break, breek would land like a trumpet on the ear, as if to say, here lives a wealthy man. If I were a rich man, hi-ya-dee-ya, hi-ya-dee-ya, hi-ya-dee-ya-dee-ya-dum. All day long I'd biddy-biddy-bum. If I were a wealthy man, I wouldn't have to work hard. Hi-ya-dee-ya, hi-ya-dee-ya, hi-ya-dee-ya-dee-ya-dum. If I were a bitty-bitty rich, yiddle-deedle-diddle-diddle man, I see my wife, my Golda, looking like a rich man's wife with the proper double chin, supervising meals to her heart's delight. I see her putting on airs and strutting like a peacock. Oh, what a happy mood she's in. Screaming at the servants day and night. Put it over there. No, put it up here. Oh, bring it over here. The most important men in town will come to fawn on me. They will ask me to advise them like a Solomon the Wise. If you please, Rebtevia, pardon me, Rebtevia, posing problems that would cross a rabbi's eyes. Roy, Roy. And it won't make one bit of difference if I answer right or wrong. When you're rich, they think you really know. If I were rich, I'd have the time that I lack to sit in the synagogue and pray, and maybe have a seat by the eastern wall. And I discuss the holy book with the learned men 7 hours every day. And that would be the sweetest thing of all. Oh, if I were a rich man, hi-ya-dee-ya, hi-ya-dee-ya, hi-ya-dee-ya-dee-ya-dum. All day long I'd biddy-biddy-bum. If I were a wealthy man, I wouldn't have to work hard. Hi-ya-dee-ya, hi-ya-dee-ya, hi-ya-dee-ya-dee-ya-dum. Lord, who made the lion and the lamb, you decreed I should be what I am. Would it spoil some vast eternal plan if I were a wealthy man? Well, you know, one of the things that make it great to live in Pleasant Lake is going down to the old fishing hole. fishing pole. Meet me at the fishing hole. If not get a bite all day, but don't you rush away. What a great place to rest your bones, mighty fine for skipping stones. Fresh as a lemonade, a setting in the shade. Whether it's hot, whether it's cool, oh, what a spot for whistling like a fool. What a fine day to take a stroll and wind up at the fishing hole. Can't think of a better way to pass the time of day. Well, no need to call the roll when we get to the fishing hole. Me, you, me, and old dog Trey to pass the time away. If we don't hook a perch or bass, cool our toes in dewy grass, we'll fill up a wheat and shaw and maybe sit in a jar. Hanging around, taking our ease, watching that hound, scratching at his leaves. Gonna take down the fishing pole and meet you at the fishing hole. Can't think of a better way to pass the time of day.
Give it up for Tel-All's Ron Parker, 39th show tonight. Give it up for him.
Well, those of you that have driven through Pleasant Lake or lived down there a while, you know you can run across some odd people down there. None of them odder than Ralph and Galen.
You out there, buddy? We're waiting on you.
I'm coming.
Okay.
What time was my appointment anyway?
About an hour ago, but hey, the boys all came down to see you because they knew you were coming. Let's give you a little trimming here today. What do you think?
Just a little off the sides. I look good already.
I don't know if I can help that.
You got to try your best.
There you go. Put this bad boy on. All right. I guess you heard about my misfortune.
No. What kind of misfortunes you have?
Uncle Ned, he died.
Oh, that's awful. I mean, that's bad.
No, that's good.
Well, how do you figure it's good?
Well, hang on. I got to get this up.
I know. You're gonna get hair all down my back
There
before
we
we get
go.
done.
Hey, this is a part-time job. What can I say?
Yeah. Well, don't give up your day
No,
job.
that's bad because my Uncle Ned died because, well, you say it's bad, I say it's good.
Well,
You know why it's good?
really, how could it be good?
Because he left me $50,000.
Ooh, wow, that's good.
No, that's bad because the IRS got a hold of it. And when they got done with it, I got $25,000.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad.
Well, no, that's good. That's good.
How's that good?
Well, it's good because I went out and I bought me an aeroplane.
You know how to fly? You bought an airplane?
Well, not exactly.
Is that good?
No, that's bad.
Oh, okay.
I was out flying my aeroplane one day and I got upside down.
That's bad.
Well, yeah, it's bad, but it's also good because I fell out of that airplane.
Oh, that's really bad.
No, it's good because down below there's a great big stack of hay.
Oh, boy, talk about some good luck. That's really good.
No, that's bad because down
That's
at
bad?
yeah, because at that stack of hay there stood a pitchfork pointing right up at me.
Oh, I could just got a mental picture here. It's not good. So that's bad.
No, that was good because I missed it.
Oh, well, I could see how that'd make you look on the brighter side of things. That's good.
No, that's bad because I missed the whole pile.
Oh. So that's bad, isn't it?
Well, it was actually good because after I got done flopping on the ground a few times, the ambulance showed up and took me to the hospital.
Oh, well, you're really fortunate to have an ambulance close, so that's got to be good.
No, that was bad too.
It's bad?
Yep, I got to the hospital and I took a turn for the nurse.
Oh, that has to be good, isn't it?
Well, no, that was bad.
That's bad.
Yeah, because my wife walked in and she caught me a-kissing on the nurse.
Ooh, that is really bad, isn't it? That's horrible.
No, that's good. I'll tell you why it's good. Because my wife, she said, if that's the way you're going to act, she said, I'm going to pack up my clothes and I'm moving back with Mama.
And that is good, isn't
You're
it?
darn right
Yes,
that's
sir,
good.
it is.
It's not easy being me. We have a very special person with our group tonight, Father Tom. He keeps us on the straight and narrow. Yes. Father Tom has taught us that the way you make holy water is to boil the hell out of it. No, actually, that was mine, not his. But it leads me into my joke. There were two nuns that were given the task of painting a room at the convent, and Mother Superior said, I do not want to see a speck of paint on any of your clothes. So the two of them decided they would just paint naked. They would lock the door, paint naked. They're about halfway through. They hear a knock on the door, and the man, they said, who is it? The man says, blind man. He said, well, it's not going to hurt anything. He's blind, so they let him in, and walks in and says, nice equipment, ladies. Where do you want the blinds?
Hey, Kevin, did you hear about Elton in Fort Wayne over the summer? Legendary. I'll tell you. Old Elton was down there running around. You know how he does. He's always looking for stuff for the Minstrel show, this and that. And he was driving around. He went by this spot, and he just happened to catch out of the corner of his eye that a traffic camera had flashed at him. And he kind of, and he drove on. He knew he hadn't been speeding, but he thought, by golly, I'm going to go back around again and check on that. So he went around the block, coming back through the area again, driving a little bit slower this time. And sure enough, as he went through, off went the light. And he thought on that. He goes, I know I wasn't speeding. He says, but this is kind of fun. So he went back around 3 more times and went through that light. And finally he gave up on it, went home. 2 weeks later, he got 5 tickets for no seatbelt.
Gentleman went to the barber shop, and barber says, can I help you? He said, yeah. He said, I need a real good close shave. He said, sit down there. So he sat down, and he said, now I need the closest shave because he said, I just can't get close enough when I'm at home. He said, all right. And he lathered him all up, and he noticed that he's getting a really good shave, about as close as he's ever had. And the bartender said, the barber, the bartender. Could have been a bartender. Anyways, he goes to the drawer and he pulls out this wooden ball. He said, here, stick this between your cheek and your gum. So he's shaving on him. He thinks, man, this is the closest shave I've ever had. And he says, what happens if I swallow this ball? He said, well, if you swallow the ball, he said, just bring it back tomorrow and put it in that drawer like everybody else does.
Now, Abe Thalls passed a major milestone this past summer. He turned 90 years old. Yes. Now, Abe still likes to get out and play a little golf, but his vision isn't what it once was, and sometimes after he hits the ball, he has trouble seeing where it went. Ron Parker says, well, heck, I can help you with that. My vision is still perfect. I'll go out and spot for you. So they're out at the golf course. Abe tees it up, whack, down the fairway, and Abe says to Ron, you see where the ball went? Ron says, yes, I told you, I've got perfect vision. Abe says, okay, where did the ball go? Ron says, I forgot.
Well, like a lot of small communities, people in Pleasant Lake, they have a tendency to leave Pleasant Lake to go travel the world and see what's happening out there. But you know what? They always come back.
I'm going to need a little help on this song, so at the end of it, this is going to be a little bit of audience participation. So when I point at you, I'm going to expect you all to say, I know someplace you haven't been. Got that? Got it. Practice? Yes. I know someplace you haven't been. We're good. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Crossed the deserts bare, man. I breathed the mountain air, man. Travel, I've done my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Reno, Chicago, Fargo, Minnesota, Buffalo, Toronto, Winslow, Sarasota, Wichita, Tulsa, Ottawa, Oklahoma, Tampa, Panama, Manama, Apollonia, Bangor, Baltimore, Salvador, Amarillo, Topeka, Kendallville, Amarillo. I'm a killer. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Cross the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. Travel, I've done my share, man. I've been everywhere. Boston, Charleston, Dayton, Louisiana, Washington, Houston, Kings and Texarkana, Monterey, Faraday, Santa Fe, Tallapoosa, Glen Rock, Black Rock, Little Rock, Okaloosa, Tennessee, Hennessy, Chippewa, Spirit Lake, Grand Lake, Devil Lake, Pleasant Lake for Pete's sake. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Cross the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. Travel, I've done my share, man. I've been everywhere. Louisville, Nashville, Knoxville, Omataka, Sheffoville, Jacksonville, Waterloo, Costa Rica, Pittsfield, Bringsville, Bakerfield, Shreveport, Hackensack, Cadillac, Fond du Lac, Davenport, Argentina, Damadima, Pasadena, Catalina. See what I mean, sir? I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Cross the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. Travel, I've done my share, man. No, you don't, because I've been everywhere.
Well, I got to say, you know, the people that do leave Pleasant Lake, while they're gone, they think about their old hometown and the people back there wondering how they're getting along.
Left his dear old parents all alone.
some things never change around a small town. People work hard all week long so they can go to town on Saturday night and have a good time. See if it sounds something like this.
I'm going to sing out of this mic here. That's okay. There's an Elvis movie on the Brokaw sign, and we've all seen it at least 3 times. Everybody's broke 'cause he's got a buck. He put $1 worth of gas in his pickup truck. We're going 90 miles an hour down the dead-end road. What's the hurry, son? Where you gonna go? Yeah, they're gonna howl at the moon, shoot out the light. It's a small town Saturday night. It's a small town Saturday night. Yay! Now Carol's got her lipstick on a little too bright, and Steve's getting drunk, he's looking for a fight. He's got liquor on his breath and trouble on his mind. They know Carol's just a kid along for the ride. He got a 6-pack of beer and a bottle of wine. Gotta be had just to have a good time. They're gonna howl at the moon, shoot out the light. It's a small town Saturday night. It's a small town Saturday night. Steve told Carol the world ain't round, and it dropped off sharp at the edge of town. Carol, you know the world must be flat, 'cause when people leave town, they never come back. They go 90 miles an hour through the city limit sign, put the pedal to the metal before they change their mind. They howl at the moon, shoot out the light. It's a small town Saturday night. They howl at the moon, shoot out the light. Yeah, small town Saturday night. It's a Salt Lake Saturday night. It's a Pleasant Lake Saturday night. Take us home, boys.
That's just what you wanted, was a little applause, wasn't it?
That's what I was waiting on. Thanks. Ready?
Yep.
Where, oh, where are you tonight? Why did you leave me here all alone? I've searched the world over and thought I'd found true love. You met another and you were gone.
You know, Bill, we have a really, really small town.
Shorty, how small is it?
It's so small, we have no town idiot. We take turns.
Hey, Bob, you know we got a really small town.
How small town is it, Galen?
Well, when you have a garden tractor driving down the road and there's 2 cars parked behind it, that's a small town. That's a traffic jam.
Hey, Danny, you know, we've got a really small town.
How small is it, Shirley?
Shirley.
Well, it's so small that our fire department is 3 pygmies and a water pit. That's 3 pygmies and a water pit.
Phil, I live in a really small town.
Well, Neil, how small is that town?
What's so small that people don't even use turn signals? Because everybody knows where you're going anyway.
Where, oh, where are you tonight? Why did you leave me here all alone? I've searched the world over and thought I'd found true love. You met another and you were gone.
Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear the pitter pat? And the happy tune is your step. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade, but I'm not afraid. This rover crossed over. If I never had a cent, I'd be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade, but I'm not afraid. This rover crossed over. If I never had a cent, I'd be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side, on the sunny side, on the sunny side of the street.
Well, you may remember those days when you saw some fellas that were sitting out in front of Fuller's garage, wasting their days with way too much time on their hands. Well, in case you don't remember, this is exactly what it looked like.
Is it time yet?
Hey, Kevin.
Is it time yet?
Is it time yet?
Is it time yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Is it time yet?
Is it time yet?
Is it time yet?
It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
Has anyone seen a violin bow? No? I think you found it. Howdy, townies. That's a violin. It's a big violin.
Sorry.
Well rehearsed. I made my love by the gasworks wall. I dreamed a dream by the old canal. I kissed my girl by the factory wall. Dirty old town, dirty old town. The clouds are drifting across the moon. Case are prowling on their beat. Springs a girl from the streets at night. Dirty old town, dirty old town. I heard a siren from the dark. Saw a train set the night on fire. I smell the spring on the smoky wind. Dirty old town, dirty old town. But I'm gonna may you be strong as shiny steel, tempered in the fire. I'll chop you down like an old dead tree. Dirty old town, dirty old town. I met my love by the gasworks wall. I dreamed a dream by the old canal. I kissed my girl by the factory wall. Dirty old town, dirty old town, dirty old town, dirty old.
Before we do the little gospel melody here, I didn't even tell Elton I was going to do this, but how many here that remember the old Pleasant Lake Baptist Church? Carolyn, Karen, Marcia, Marilyn, I mean, yeah, we all went there. Russ Brayton, who used to be a teacher here, was our minister there. And they were advertising for somebody to come in and ring the bell on Sundays. So they put an ad in the newspaper. One day, here comes a guy knocking on the door, and he says to Russ, he said, "I'm here applying for that job." Well, Russ looked at him, and he didn't have any arms. Russ thought, this is kind of strange, because I don't know how he's going to ring the bell if he doesn't have any arms. And he said, "I don't mean to be insensitive, but you don't have any arms. How are you going to ring the bell?" He says, "You take me up to it, and I'll show you exactly how I'll do it." So they climbed the 3 flights of stairs up to the bell tower. That guy looks at the bell and he runs up and he smashes his head right into the bell. It rings just loud as could be. He backs up again, runs up there, smashes his face into it again, and it rings just great. Russ said, "Job's yours." So everything goes really good till one Sunday he's up there to ring the bell, and he trips. And he goes out the window, 3 stories down, hits the concrete. He's dead. It's a horrible tragedy, and people are starting to gather around, and this is horrible. What are we going to do? And Marcia and Marilyn are standing there, and they look at him, and the horrible, horrible tragedy. What are we going to do? And Marilyn says, "Do you know who he is?" Marcia says, "I don't know, but his face sure rings a bell."
We thank you for your support. Here's the gospel medley.
I come to the garden alone while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses. And he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. I'm satisfied with just a cottage below, a little silver and a little gold. But in that city where the ransom will shine, I want a gold one, that silver line. I got a mansion just over the hilltop in that bright land where we'll never grow. And someday yonder I'll never nor wander, but walk on streets that are purest gold. And in the sweet by and by we shall meet on that beautiful shore. In the sweet by and by we shall meet on that beautiful shore. There's a land that is fairer than day, and by faith we can see it afar. For the Father waits over the way to prepare us a dwelling place there. In the sweet by and by we shall meet on that beautiful shore. In the sweet by and by we shall meet on that beautiful shore. I wonder, so aimless, life filled with sin, I wouldn't let my dear Savior in. Then Jesus came like a stranger in the night. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light. I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. I wasn't so happy, no sorrow inside. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. Just like a blind man I wandered along, worries and fears I claimed on my own. Just like a blind man I came back
right now, Pleasant Lakers, this is a time when I'm sure if you think back, you can remember when Buck Milholland's teams were taking on Flint and Salem Center. Well, I tell you what, Pleasant Lake Spartans, you should know this song, so if you do, sing along with them.
Oh, you want to do your thing? Oh, yes. You got to see this. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. High school cheerleaders.
Before we go on to our next one here, just in case anybody's wondering, the Angola Marching Hornets have made it out of regional. We'll be going to semi-state next week, our marching band. So we go from the good to, well, we may lower things a little bit here because you remember those fellows sitting out in front of Fuller's Garage? I told you they had way too much time on their hands.
Company, attend, hut, forward, march. Hut, 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 hut. Company, halt, right, face, parade, rest.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Pleasant Lake Senior Lawn Chair Drill Team.
Company, attend, hut, column of twos, hunch, hut, 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 hut. Present chair. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right shoulder, chair. 1, 2, 3, 4. Prepare, chair. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hand on it. Hand on it. Attend. Hut. 1, 2, 3, 4. Column of ones. Huh. All our wives think we are lazy.
All our wives think we are lazy.
Our sitting around just drives them crazy.
Our sitting around just drives them crazy.
But what are we supposed to do?
But what are we supposed to do?
Can't look this good and work hard too.
Can't look this good and work hard too.
Company, halt. Right, face. Zipper, quicker. Hut, 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 hut,
'em up.
Hike 'em up. Hike 'em up.
Company, a tan, hut, a flip, chair. 1, 2, 3, 4. A drop, chair. 1. A sit, down.
Can you remember back when you were a kid? Okay? Remember when Grandpa and Dad were out in the barn milking the cows? And then you was in the house getting ready for school. And there was usually a radio station you was listening to. Can you remember what that was? Whoa, whoa, W-O-W-O.
You're listening to Little Red Barn program that comes every morning of the week with Bob Sears, John Lawrence on Monday morning, and me, Jay Gould, over the big 50,000 watt voice of the big business of farming, Westinghouse WOWO in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
This summer, I took my grandson down to the Auburn swimming pool, and we were having a grand old time. He was enjoying himself, and I was having a good time. And all of a sudden, I heard the lifeguard blow his whistle. And I looked, and he said, "You, out of the pool." So I got out of the pool, and he said, "You and your grandson need to leave." I said, "Well, what happened? What do you mean we got to leave?" He said, "Your grandson was peeing in the pool." I said, "Well, you know, every little boy pees in the pool." He said, "Not from the high diving board."
Now, Kevin's lovely wife, Bridget, came to him recently and said, "Kevin, you don't pay any attention to me anymore. You don't know what I'm thinking. You don't know what I'm feeling. You don't know what I like and what I don't like." Kevin says, "Oh, no, honey, that's not true." She says, "Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? Well, tell me. If you know so much about me, tell me what's my favorite flower." Kevin says, "Oh, honey, that's easy. Your favorite flower is gold medal all-purpose."
Right, and you'll know that he has used that joke many a times before because he is really not that funny. But there is one man here I want to honor tonight that really is that funny, and that's Walt Silberg. Give it up for Walt. Now, Walt, you know I tell the jokes and you don't, so you can go sit down. But the joke I'm going to tell is inspired by Walt because he is a comic genius, unlike Elton Powers. An 87-year-old woman comes home from playing bingo at the church, comes home a little bit early, finds her an 82-year-old husband in the bedroom with a young lady doing something he ought not be doing. So a scoop, yes, I'm going to use it. A fight ensues. Lady throws her husband off the 20th floor balcony, falls instantly to his death. They drag her in front of the judge, and the judge says, "What do you have to say for yourself?" She says, "Well, at 92, if he can do that, I figured he could fly."
There was this magician on stage doing his act, and he comes to a part in it where he needs a volunteer from the audience. And he reaches out to the crowd, and somebody come up, and this rather large gentleman does. And when he gets up on stage, the magician tells him, "Go over there, pick up that 16-pound sledgehammer, and smash that cement rock or block." And so the guy goes over, swings it, and it just goes into pieces everywhere. And the magician says, "Very, very good. Now, I want you to take that sledgehammer and hit me in the head." And the guy goes, "Oh, no, I can't do that. I'll probably kill you." The magician goes, "Nah, man, don't worry about it. Hit me in the head." So the guy hauls back, wham, nails him, drops in a heap, just boom, out. Well, of course, they got to take him to the hospital. He's in a coma for 6 months. And one day he starts to wake up, and one eye pops open, and the other eye pops open. He sits up and goes, "Ta-da!"
My friends are so small town. My parents live in the same small town. My job is so small town, provides little opportunity.
Educated in a small town, taught the fear of Jesus in a small town. Used to daydream in that small town, another born romantic, yeah, that's me.
But I've seen it all in a small town. Had myself a ball in a small town. Married an LA doll and moved to this small town. She's a small town just like me.
Nothing against a big town. Still hayseed enough to say, hey, look who's in the big town. But my bed's in a small town, and that's good enough for me.
Well, I was born in a small town, and I can breathe in a small town. feel so welcome each time that I return, that my happy heart keeps laughing like a clown. I love those dear hearts and gentle people who live and love in my hometown. There's a trip I'd like to take, and it's back to Pleasant Lake, where your friendly neighbors smile and say hello, hello. It's a pleasure and a treat to meander down the street. That's why I want the whole wide world to know I love those dear hearts and gentle people who live in my hometown. Because those dear hearts and gentle people will never ever let you down. They read the good book until one day that's how the weekend goes. I got a dream house I'll build there one day with picket fence and rambling road. I feel so welcome each time that I return, that my happy heart keeps laughing like a clown. I love those dear hearts and gentle people who live and love in my hometown.
My first song will be Chopsticks. Anyways, so to me, this is a song about going away and coming back and going out and realizing there's nothing better than right here. So here we go. When you gonna come down? When you gonna land? I should have stayed on the farm, should have listened to my old man. You know you can't hold me forever. I didn't sign up with you. I'm not a present for your friends to open. This girl's too young to be singing the blues. So goodbye, yellow brick road, where the dogs of society howl. You can't put me in a penthouse. I'm going back to my plow, back to the howl of the owl in the woods, hunting the horny black toad. Oh, I've finally decided where my future lies, beyond the yellow brick road. What do you think you'll do then? That they'll shoot down your plane? They'll take a couple of vodka tonics to get you on your feet again. Maybe you'll get a replacement. There's plenty like me to be found. The mongrels who ain't got a penny, searching for tidbits like you on the ground. Ooh, 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 the dogs of society howl. You can't put me in a penthouse. I'm going back to my plow, back to the howl of the owl in the woods, hunting the horny black toad. Oh, I finally decided where my future lies, beyond the yellow brick road.
Said before, the show's really about me, just having fun, and the group of guys we have back here having fun. So I want to bring somebody out that is a true comic genius, not related to me whatsoever, but is an absolute comic genius. Court, come on out. Court Stoy's done countless shows. Give him a round of applause. We actually spell our last names different. We're not related.
Not at all.
So, I want to tell a quick story about Courtney. He was at the checkout of the grocery store, and the lady in front of him bought a half-gallon of milk, dozen eggs, a little bit of flour, some sugar, some snap beans, laid it all up there. That's a lot. And when she got done, was ready to pay, Court just looks at her and says, "I'm going to guess that you're single." Well, the lady kind of looked at him funny and thought, well, I'm intrigued how you would know just by what I bought that I'm single. And Court says, no, you're ugly.
Well, I got a couple of little truisms of life. And one of them is the only time the world beats a path to your door is when you're in the bathroom. And the second one is as you slide down the banister of life, you pray and hope that all the slivers are pointed downstream.
So there was this huge fire just across the Ohio line at that candy factory, and all the fire departments in the area were called in: Angola, Pleasant Lake, Orland, Metz, Fremont. They were all there to help fight the fire. The CEO came out when they were all there getting ready to fight it, and he said, fellas, I got to announce to you that we've just made a major breakthrough with a recipe for a candy that's going to turn the world around. But he said, unfortunately, the recipe is inside the building. So whoever goes in and gets that, I'm going to give them $50,000. So, of course, the Angola crew, since they're paid and they're manly compared to our little volunteer crews, they decide they're going to run in there and get it. They get about halfway to the fire, and they stop the truck, and they come back. CEO says, what's going on? Why did you stop and come back? They said, fire's way too hot. I'm not risking my men. No, thank you. He said, geez, fellas. He said, if somebody would go in there and just get that recipe, I'll give them $100,000. So Orland decides they're going to go in. So they take their fire truck and they zoom right up to the front of the door, and they stop. They shake their heads. They turn around and they come back, and the CEO says, why didn't you go on in? You were that close. Way too hot. I can't risk that. I can't risk my men. So he says, guys, I'll tell you, he said, that's a recipe that's going to turn the world around. If somebody would go in and get that, I'll give them $1 million. Well, Pleasant Lake crew, as smart as they are, they decide they're going to jump in their fire truck, so they head on in, and boom, they go right inside the fire, they get the recipe, and out they come. The news reporters are there, the CEO's there, he's happy as can be. The news reporters walk up to him and say, what are you going to do with that $1 million? They said, well, the first thing we're going to do is get new brakes for that doggone truck.
Okay, well, this fellow is walking past a cemetery, and just inside the gate he sees this guy kneeling down at a tombstone. And the guy's wringing his hands and sobbing. He's saying, "Why did you have to die? Why did you have to die?" And the fellow is so taken by this, he thinks, "I must comfort this man." So he walks into the cemetery, puts his hand on the guy's shoulder and says, "I'm sorry, it must have been someone you loved very much." The guy points at the tombstone and says, "No, I never met him. It's my wife's first husband."
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is kind of a sobering moment as we ask all of you please to extend a moment of silence before this next song, because we're going to extend an apology to John, Paul, George, and Ringo.
For this song, I'm having a hard time with the fiddle solo, so I'm going to let my son Zeke play it. Wait till you hear it.
In Pleasant Lake there is a barber showing photographs of every head he's had the pleasure to know, and all the people that come and go stop and say hello. On the corner is a banker with a motor car. The little children laugh at him behind his back, and the banker never wears a hat in the pouring rain. Very strange. Pleasant Lake is in my ears and in my eyes. There beneath the blue suburban skies I sit and meanwhile back in Pleasant Lake Street is a fireman with an hourglass, and in his pocket is a portrait of his queen. He likes to keep his fire engine clean. It's a clean machine. Pleasant Lake is in my ears and in my eyes. There beneath the blue suburban skies I sit, and meanwhile back behind the shelter in the middle of a roundabout, the pretty nurse is selling poppies from a tray. And though she feels as if she's in a play, she is anyway. In Pleasant Lake the barber shaves another customer. We see the banker sitting waiting for a train, and then the fireman rushes in from the pouring rain. It's very strange. Pleasant Lake is in my ears and in my eyes. There beneath the blue suburban skies I sit, and meanwhile back Pleasant Lake is in my ears and in my eyes. There beneath the blue suburban skies, Pleasant Lake.
Okay, we go from the sobering to something really exciting, folks. In fact, this may be the biggest thing that has happened to Pleasant Lake since Dwight Eisenhower was seen riding a train about 40 miles from here. But anyway, there has been a sighting of Elvis in this building.
Not me either.
I'm sure many of you watched the Ken Burns documentary on country music. This particular song we're going to do was at the end of that documentary. It's been done by anybody from Hank Williams to Dolly to Elvis, so we're going to try to do it a little bit in the style of Elvis.
Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a feather home waiting in the sky.
I love hearing your voice. I was standing by my window on one cold and cloudy day when I saw the hearse come rolling for to carry my mother away. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. I said to the undertaker, Undertaker, please drive slow, for this lady you are carrying, Lord, I hate to see her go. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Oh, I followed close behind her, tried to stand up and be brave, but I could not hide my sorrow when they laid her in the grave. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Walt and Galen and I, we've been doing this Elvis bit since 1994.
Moby Dick was a minnow.
Yeah. And it just can't hardly be done without Walt by my side and Galen.
We needed a tenor singer, so I recruited Josh. A lot of you know who he is. He's one of my grandsons. This is a dream come true for me.
Every fourth or fifth year, we do this song. And one of the reasons why is because we really enjoy it, and we hope you do too. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin? For I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things were meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things were meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you, for I can't help falling in love with you.
Okay, yes, we have the lights all turned up. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the part called the seventh inning stretch, and we'd like for you to all stand up, please.
Everybody up.
Everybody up.
Songs in your book.
Page 5 or 6, you find words to the music. The first one they're going to be singing is Coming Round the Mountain, but it's been made for Angola. And tonight...
Last page before the ads. You got it right there. Seventh inning stretch. Everybody sing.
All righty. Now, to lead us on this little journey tonight are the Genuine Pretenders, backed by popular demand, and they are on guitar, Father Tom Adamson. On ukulele, Elton Powers. On another ukulele, Luann Homan. On banjo, Lee Sowers. And on harmonica, we have, you recognize? I don't recognize him. You guys recognize him? Joe? Joe? Joe.
High song.
Joe Highsong on harmonica.
You're going to be on that side of the sun? Minstrel shows predate the Civil War. They were very popular in the late 19th century, and they were traveling professional minstrel shows, including some that came to the Croxon Opera House here in Angola. They started to die out as an art form about the time vaudeville came along and then radio. But many small communities still did them, mainly as fundraisers. The first Pleasant Neck Lions Club minstrel show was done in 1930. And this song laments the passing of minstrel shows. Posters peeling underneath last summer's morning glory vine. Old straw hat and a stub of cigar, empty bottle of wine. Lay me down, Indiana, lay me down. Don't want to wake up in the morning no more. Sing me one slow, sad song for this one last old time before they close the minstrel show. Banjo's got a broken string, don't expect I'll get to fix it now. Won't be no more songs to sing, I'm rusty anyhow. Lay me down, Indiana, lay me down. Don't want to wake up in the morning no more. Sing me one slow, sad song for this one last old time before they close the minstrel show. Money and the crowds run out before we left the last town. This old show done played its run and rung the curtain down. Lay me down, Indiana, lay me down. Wake up in the morning no more. Sing me one slow, sad song for this one last old time before they close the minstrel show. Don't know where we go from here, come to that, I just don't care. Maybe we'll go to a better place and the minstrel show be there. Lay me down, Indiana, lay me down. Don't want to wake up in the morning no more. Sing me one slow, sad song for this one last old time before they close the minstrel show.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to just take a brief opportunity to... Yeah, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Oh, we can use this. You're wasting all the time interrupting me, by the way. For the last 10 years, Elton Powers has poured blood, sweat, and tears into this production. He's been our director, our drill sergeant, and all kinds of things. And there's a rumor going around that next year he'd like to take a back seat on this here little show. So we just want to take a moment to recognize him and to thank him, and also to thank his wife, Carolyn. So Elizabeth, if you would bring that, and Carolyn, if you want to come up, we want to thank you guys together, because this affects your life too. We start in February looking at an empty canvas around a table at Chapman's, and this has really been such a beautiful blessing in our lives. We want to thank them so much. Let's hear it for the Powers.
Is everybody having a good time tonight? He seems to be walking away, but can my grandfather please come up here? Ron, Sr. You. You'll find out. It was almost 30 years ago. This was the first time I performed in front of you guys. We did Take Me Out to the Ballgame. Well, since this is supposedly his last show as well, I wanted him to sing Take Me Out to the Ballgame one more time. So you guys can all sing along. You ready?
I'm ready.
2, 3. Take me out to the ball game.
Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get that chorus. Root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
All right, I decided to change my song this morning. I'm sorry, Elton. So I am ready. I was sitting outside in the front yard, long chair, kiddie pool, soaking up the sun. Old man walks by, he says, we got this thing called ambition. Why don't you buy a suit and go get you some life? He ain't got enough of his own business. Now he's got to go mind and mind. Opportunity knocks and I miss it. It ain't no crime. It ain't no crime. If I want to kick back and kill a little time, it ain't no crime. I was getting some pink in my color. Next door lady says, why you always laying around? A fine young man like you should be married with some children, instead of all these honeys running in and out like she ain't got enough of her own business. Now she's got to go mind and mind. I don't have a lot of kids and a missus. It ain't no crime. It ain't no crime. If I want to kick back and steal a kiss sometime, it ain't no crime. I have one more surprise. I got a real handsome fella coming out here. Everybody minded their own business. Be too busy to worry about mine. If I live life the way I wanna live it, it ain't no crime. It ain't no crime. If I wanna kick back and chill or steal a kiss from a girl, I will. Every time, it ain't no crime. It ain't no crime. It ain't no crime. Thank you, everybody.
Setting fast, just like they say, nothing good ever lasts. We're going now in case you goodbye, but hold on to your love, cause your heart's bound to die. Go on now in case you goodbye, say goodbye to your town. Can't you see the sun setting fast, and just like they say, nothing good. sit on the porch and watch the lightning bugs fly. Can't see too good, I got tears in my eyes. Leaving tomorrow, but I don't wanna go. I love you, my town, you always live in my soul. But I can see the sun setting fast, and just how they say nothing good ever lasts. Oh, now I gotta kiss you goodbye, but hold on to your lover, 'cause your heart's bound to die. Go on now and say goodbye to our town, my town. Can't you see the sun sitting down on my town, our town tonight? Good night. Thank you.
We'd like to have you join us for our closing number. Before we do that, however, I'd like to have Ron and Abe and Walt come up here. Come on, guys, you can do it. I'd like to. I'd like to mention a number of years, and I could mention the number of years that when you total up their birthdays, that comes up to 263, but I'd rather mention 40 or so, the number of years these guys have been on this stage or on the stage in Pleasant Lake putting together shows for the community to entertain people and to raise money for the good causes of the Pleasant Lake Lions Club. So Ron, Abe, Walt, thank you.
You know, Abe was the first one to decide that we couldn't stand up here all this time. And he went to the doctor and he told the doctor, he said, "Doc, I'd like to get my sex drive lowered." The doctor looked at him and smiled. And he says, "You know, that's all right here in your head." And Abe said, "I know it is, but I'd like to get it lower than that."
Now you know why we don't let Walt tell jokes anymore. Join us for God Bless America.